What's going on? What the goings on, y'all? I'm talking about trying to get my camera together. I don't know. My teeth feel a little better, but I'm always fidgeting and fiddling with this dear mask. I guess it's just my mechanism for my mechanismness. But what's going on with it? You know what I'm talking about? Already. Know what we about to do. We about to get straight to it. Shout out to the Drizzy Drake. I guess your album come out May 15th, huh? Um, I didn't get to watch a lot, but I got to watch a little. And everybody got I ain't gonna say mixed views, but they don't know what side they want to be on. You know what I'm talking about? Like how all of a sudden everybody was on one side, now they don't know what side they want to be. You know what I'm talking about? You can be what you was being when you was dancing. You know what I'm talking about? Had the same theatrics and same rhetoric and all that old extra. Read all about it. You know what I'm talking about? Because they was just not like us, right? Now they want to be us. Because there wasn't nothing really going on. Now it's going on. Now you want to be in some kind of zone. You can't stay in the same atmosphere, sir. It's hot up there. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to you, Drizzy. You know what I mean? You know how it is. But at the same time, see, this is what I like about rap. Kendrick ain't gonna take it lightly, so he gonna be sitting back trying to see what you got going on. So he got something going on. It's gonna be quite delightful if you ask me. Rap wasn't talking about nothing anyway, so now we gonna have something to talk about. But shout out to you, good brother. Let's have some endeavors. We shall see, though. You know what I'm talking about? I don't give nobody no stamp of approval until I see it. That's just like uh the whole battle rap situation. I ain't really seen nothing going on, but I heard that Eunice and King had a nice event, and I also heard that She Happens had some curricular activities. He fought Low Spring, so we'll see how that went too. You know what I'm talking about? It's definitely gonna make for delightful events. If you got the URLTV.tv app, I suggest you go watch those battles and see what's going on when it's going on in the song. Y'all. Let's get into some of these facts and opinions. You know what I mean? Already, cause that's all they is. Shout out to Lil Scrappy. I seen half your video. I ain't want to go back and rewatch the other half, cause generally speaking, who cares? You know what I'm talking about? We see you got some money. We see that you taking a bath. Who cares? You know what I mean? You on Love and Hip Hop, sir, and that's just always gonna be your story. I don't care what kind of motivational speak you give me, or should I say, you give us. It's not gonna equal up to you giving your voice and your opinion on a female show. It just is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? So the motherfucker always gonna give you that side eye when you do try to preach. Like, what is he talking about? Like, his whole storyline is gossip. So why wouldn't we think you was gossiping then? Just saying something to be saying something. You know how I go. Like I told you, I know how to do it without doing it, and because I do it well. But anyway, let's get off into these playoffs because that's what I've been watching. You understand me? Shout out to LeBron James. I ain't see Bronny much, but shout out to LeBron James. You had 28, 8, and 7, sir. You know what I'm talking about? You up 2-0, sir. Even though that was kind of a nail biter coming down to the fourth quarter, it seemed like everybody was shooting bricks. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even gonna lie. The second and third quarter, I fell asleep. It was that many bricks. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be a long night. Kevin gonna end up doing his thing. I woke up in the third quarter. You was still winning. Not by months, but I also want to give a shout out to the coaching staff. Because they like, look, we're going to slow it down. JJ Reddick and the young crew. Like, we're going to slow it down and we're going to make this a whole quarter. So they had a whole third quarter of slowing it down. But shout out to y'all for the win. It looked like Brown was 32 all over again. You know what I'm talking about? Kevin, what you doing? Can't go to that one side, huh? That's what happens when you have a Achilles tear. Sometimes, you know what I'm talking about? They find out what you limited to and they take advantage of it. You see if they can exploit the mismatch. Maybe in game 3, you know what I'm saying, you'll practice a little more in the practice situation. It's no here nor there. I don't really like to discuss them two guys. I guess, you know what I'm saying, I done got a little older with y'all. I really don't like to be, you know what I'm saying, toying with people I've been around for 20 plus years. I don't really like toying around with their situation. So I'm going to just say, man, you need to tell them to tighten up, bro. I know they don't got no playoff experience, but here it is. And he turned into a different animal, and you got to be able to turn too. Without no turning, it won't be no hope. You feel me? And that leads me to shout out Shea Butter. Butter, baby. I guess Shea Gildress Alexander won Clutch Player of the Year. Why not? I mean, who else was it gonna go to? For real, for real. I mean, we had a couple bench players that was clutch this year, but for the most part, yeah. When you need a bucket, you get that butter, baby. So shout out to you, Shea Butter, for Defensive Player of the Year. Let's go to the Portland Trailblazers and the Seattle. I mean, not Seattle, but San Antonio Spurs. Now, Victor Wembanyama went out in like the second quarter, and that might have propelled y'all to win this game. You know what I'm talking about? Because you really only won by 3. You know what I mean? But what else I say? Yeah. If Wembanyama don't go out, I don't know, Portland. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, it became a balanced game. Everybody hooped. You know what I'm saying? From Casso to all everybody on the Spurs hoop. They ain't take their foot off y'all neck. Y'all just made better shots. You let me tell it. It was a balanced game after that. You know, I'm talking about women. So what we gonna say? Wembanyama is the factor. Definitely got to be one of the factors. That was delicious. Shout out to Portland for the win though. Shout out to the 76ers. Who y'all play? The 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. I don't know, man. I don't really like talking about Boston like that. It's just, you know what I'm talking about? Tatum look like he ain't really knocked that rust off yet. So he trying to find himself, and he look up, he ball hogging. He ain't playing in his form. And then Jaylen Brown, he want the ball. It's gonna be the same thing with those two until they separate. Then we'll see what it really is. It's always been like that with stars though. Stars just need role players. They don't need star and star. I mean, you got your rare anomalies like LeBron James. Well, you know, he can make a star even brighter once he goes there. You know what I'm saying? Because he's willing to adapt. Most stars want to be stars. They ain't trying to adapt. Adapt for what? I am the adapter. So you know how that go. But shout out to the Sixers in Boston. I guess Paul George showed up. It was a Paul George sighting. You know what I'm talking about? That man had 35. The rookie had 40. And Maxey had 40. What is his name? Edgecombe? Number 77. You wearing it for Luca, huh? You was y'all looking like him out there. But I'm gonna say, you know what I'm talking about? You only won by 4. So you had two 40-point players and the player scored 35. You know what I'm talking about? That's almost all the points. Just saying. Um, and I think we're gonna get on up off of there. So shout out to Drizzy Drake. I guess May 15th, huh? You go hang you a album signing. I mean, an album release. An album. I said sighting. I didn't say signing. You know, I don't want them getting it mixed up. You know how YouTube is. They like to say words they think you meant. I mean, I remember I was looking at one video because I like to edit and proofread my videos after they done. And one of the videos, I said 6 mile, it said 7 mile. I said record release and a sighting, and it said signing. You know, I don't want to get confused. So May 15th, we're gonna see what Iceman really do. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot I got to say about that situation. I just don't see how most people all of a sudden, now that they need a king, you want to crown him. It's kind of crazy. You want to give out shout outs and kudos, and I hope this and I hope that, and then don't be that. We don't need no critics on this one. Just enjoy the music because we ain't had nothing in a while. That's all I really need y'all to do. Enjoy what's really happening because ain't nothing been happening. At least not by the big wigs. You know what I'm talking about? It just goes to show how big were they. Speaking of how big were they, shout out to Mary J. Blige. It's funny how you kept, shout out to Tasha K, because this is probably where I got most of the information from. I heard you was taking a 2 weeks sabbatical. I don't know. After this week playoffs, I might do the same. I'm thinking about it. I got a few doctor's appointments to go to anyway. I can go and relax for a week or two and just let it do what it do, baby. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? I might go see my kids and whatnot. I might give y'all random thoughts from the streets. You know what I'm saying? Nice little V just to feed the Instagram. You know what I'm talking about already. But shout out Mary J. Blige. I guess it's been highway robbery. And now you want to have a conversation now that the Diddler's gone. You want to have something to say and talk about anything just to get anything going, I guess. But yeah, she been getting robbed for so long. It's like, should have been knew that. Especially if you, who you say you is, supposed to been knew she was getting robbed. That's her forte. You know what I'm saying? To get a buzz and then get a buzz. It's your turn. Looking at. But we shall see, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what it is and that's what it do. So I guess back in, the story was funny to me. That's why you got to do what you do when you're doing what you're doing. So I guess Tommy Lee got kicked out of LA, right? So I go to the comments. The first 5 comments was, "Oh, this ain't happening in LA. This happened in Arizona." Like, so y'all just making clicks for views? I don't know. Then I guess the narrator came on and said, "Oh, I made a mistake, this, that, and the other." But, if it was a person that was just clicking and not paying no attention, you made more than a mistake. You know what I'm talking about? Now they reporting on shit they don't know nothing about. That's why I say AI is a strong tool, and I do not download nothing. I'm straight. AI can find them something to do. Even though AI is something that a motherfucker need, it's just not. It ain't as accurate enough for me. Just saying it ain't accurate enough for me. Um, but yeah, I guess Tommy and them got kicked out the hotel. Remember yesterday, I talked about how Tommy and Summer was in the room and it was blood on the floor and it was people so called stepping on glass. You know what I'm talking about? But you know they're gonna do further and further investigations on that. We're gonna find out who was who and what was what. You know what I'm talking about? We'll keep you all up on the details because I want to know now. This like my second situation. I usually talk about it and let it go. You gotta let it go. You know what I'm talking about? And TKO that bitch and gone to the next situation. Speaking of the next situation, shout out Drake again. Hey, we gonna have some Drake sightings today. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Drake again for giving out a car, doing the whole spectacle into Toronto. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to you, good brother. It looked like he really, really, truly needed that car. He was excited. He called his mom and everything. I say, look at Drake making dreams come true. Looking at, you know what I'm talking about? Even though I guess that's the bad. Oh, you heard the speaker go off. You know it's real. I heard that was a spad though. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know. Shout out to Eunice and King. I heard y'all had a wonderful event. It's going to be on the riot. I guess. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe we'll see that earlier. Maybe Better Rap and get his bravado back off these two young men that eventually will be the faces of this culture. You know what I'm talking about? This is what Better Rap about to be. Metaphors, assemblies, you know, however you want to say it, allegories. Maybe Better Rap gonna be what Better Rap gonna be. Shout out to Jalen Rose. Now I want to speak on this a little bit. I guess Jalen Rose want to talk about the dress code and whatnot, and how niggas need to do better with their quarter zips, and how they just need to dress better. I understand they need to dress better, but we don't need to bring the code back. Shoot, look how Allen Iverson did with that code. He did not do well. You know, he liked to dress in a sweater and a t-shirt. You know, proverbially by back in the day, it was probably FUBU. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I like to dress according to what the artist is doing. I mean, maybe if you do dress different, you'll feel different and then you'll do different. That is definitely, you know what I'm saying, something that the league wanted to address. We shall see. I got really mixed views on it. You do damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, and then I'm an older gentleman right now. So, you know, I feel a little different. But I ain't gonna never change. Look how I'm dressed now on the screen right here. You know what I'm saying? Nice sweater. You know what I'm talking about? T-shirt, a baseball cap. This is my dude. This make me feel comfortable, so I can talk my spit and swallow a little. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't think I'm with the dress code. I know. I think we're gonna come back and visit that though. Shout out to Tion Taylor. I see you, young lady. You reinvented the Janet Jackson look with a little 2026 spin on it. Yeah, I can dig it. Definitely can dig it. Janet Jackson even said she can dig it. So I guess that's a thumbs up, young lady. You know what I'm talking about? Especially if the person you mimicking is with the mimicking, then mimic on. Shout out, and I'm gonna talk about this for a minute. Shout out to T Grizzly. He don't want no beef, I guess. He like, look, you guys in the D pretty much need to calm down. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm gonna say this, nigga, you from the way. So If you ain't with the Detroit versus everybody, which has been going on, you wore a t-shirt. I'm pretty sure you wore a sweater. I'm pretty sure you wore something that said Detroit versus everybody. So why you want to have peace or some type of conversation where it makes sense? It really ain't gotta make none. Let that man do what he doing. You know what I'm talking about? I had the same mixed feelings though. Like maybe we need to let All Star Jr. calm down, but he ain't been in the limelight, so he getting as much as he can from it. And both of them guys gonna win. You know what I'm saying? I even seen them guys on the internet, but we gonna get to that. I guess yeah, we definitely gonna get to it because it's right now. You know what I'm talking about? And I seen them guys on the internet and they back and forth. I don't know if it made much sense or they just gave us what they was gonna give us, but yeah, let them guys do what they gonna do. It eventually die down because we from the way. We ain't finna just keep dealing in messy ass shit. Excuse my language. I don't mean to offend or harm anyone. That is my disclaimer. But yeah, both of them guys look like they ain't never been beyond here. So let them talk everywhere. They eventually shoot themselves in the foot and things will change, but let them change it. We don't need you to do nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to DDG again. I guess they wanted to show your video of you getting keys to the city. The city of Pontiac. You know what I'm talking about? Congratulations to you, young brother. Oh man. This is something I was dreading on talking about. We're gonna talk about it anyway. This young lady got slammed on her neck in North Carolina and was unalived. And the way that security was acting, he wanted to hurt somebody. Probably had a bad day at home or something, and he just wanted to take it out. And the way he slammed that girl to the ground on impact, you knew what time it was. You know what I'm talking about? And we need to find out where he at, what he doing, and get him off the streets immediately. You know what I'm talking about? For real, cause I don't know, it was mayhem, it was panic and all that shit. And humans don't really do good under duress. So I would imagine that he was on some diabolical rhetoric. You know what I'm talking about? Fight or flight type shit. But no here nor there, bro. You shouldn't have slandered that hard. That's crazy. Um, Speaking of that, let's talk about Jalen Pierre. Now I seen the young lady state on one of her Instagram posts that she tired of people coming to her wee hours of the day and night talking about how they was friends with Jalen Pierre. I guess he's from Queens and he got unalive recently. This is my thing on this, right? And I've been talking about the youth this week. So there's been shootings on 6 Mile. There's been shootings on the West Side. It's just been shootings and younger adults and younger people unaliving themselves and disappearing on the face of this earth, all for misunderstandings, not being able to articulate words correctly. It's sometimes it ain't how you say it, it's when you say it, what you say when you saying what you're saying. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't, I'm finna break it down. Nigga, when you see somebody has some common decency, your mama ain't taught you being decent, being right to your fellow man. I know some of the shit in America ain't right, but I know one thing: being unapologetic is a thing, bro. And if you can do that, it goes a long way. Especially, that's why I like hanging out with my elders. My Uncle Jack is probably 80. And I'd rather hang out with him than go hang out with a motherfucker my age. You know what I'm talking about? I'd rather go hang out with my uncle who's 65 My uncle who's 60. After that, you my brother. But for the most part, I like hanging out with them niggas. Them niggas got something to tell me. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm trying to listen so I can get some understanding. You feel me? This might make my I don't know why they want to do that. People want to call you for no reason. It's like, what are you calling me for? You stop doing what I gotta stop doing what I'm doing in order to have a conversation with you. I'm straight. You don't want to do nothing but sell me something. But anyway, let's get back to it. So yeah, I'd rather hang out with the older gentlemen so they can teach me something, so I can know something, so I can come on here and tell you something. It's gonna definitely be something I need to know. You feel me? Or something that I need to tell you to know. So if we know all knowing, then we know where we going. And another thing, people was recording and pulling out their phone and saying after the young man was unalive that he was my friend and he was my concubine and he was this and he was that. Well, why didn't you call the police instead of pulling your phone out? You loved him so much because he was your friend. You should have did something for your friend before it happened. You know what I'm talking about? And that's come from, remember 2-3 weeks ago? Falling on the sword. Ain't nobody willing to do that. Ain't nobody willing to have no explanation on how to do it. You had all this fun. And then, if you didn't have this fun, you had all the work that you needed to do. And you wasn't paying attention to them babies. Them babies was raising themselves. A lot of people can't raise themselves. I tell people all the time, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm an anomaly. All the trials and tribulations I went through to bring myself up. I brought myself up in this world. And that's probably why I don't listen to a lot of folks as well, because I know it was me who did me. And if I didn't do me, then it wouldn't be nobody else that's running around here. You know what I'm talking about? Because I got a lot of means running around here. And most of them is self-sufficient. You know what I'm talking about? They know how to do what they do when they do it. It's in their blood. You feel me? Plus, they got a nigga like me that's, hey, look, you might want to go this way instead of that way. That don't make sense. And if it makes sense, then it's going to definitely make dollars, and that's what it is. But yeah, shout out to that young lady. And shout out to Jalen Pierre and his family. Let's see. Deion Sanders. Deion, they ain't going to think about that. Them athletes do not care about nothing. They care about a dollar, bro. And I ain't gonna even say they care about the dollar. It's the parents that really care about the dollar. You know what I'm talking about? Them guys, a lot of them do want to just chase the athletics and chase the whole nuance being a student athlete. They want to do that. But they got their parents in their ear talking about, hey, I paid for this, I paid for that, and I need this back. So yeah, you need to go get the best check possible. And all this money I spent, you the number one recruit. You better get as much as you can to recoup. You know what I'm saying? I still got to pay this car note. I still got rent to pay. You feel me? Instead of worry about what you do on a day-to-day basis, they worry about what their pockets look like. And when they made that judgment, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to be what it is. Man, that judgment ended up being the worst judgment ever. But just like any other Caucasian, they knew the loopholes. They knew what they was gonna do and how they gonna do it. You give indigenous. If you give indigenous people money, most of them ain't had none, so they don't know what to do with none. You feel me? And they gonna do all the wrong things, and we gonna be right there to pick up the pieces. So yeah, them athletes, they ain't finna chase nothing. Not the right nothing anyway. And they gonna chase that something. You feel me? You understand where I'm coming from? Already. Shout out to Drake again. You know what I'm talking about? I guess Ebron wanted to have a change of heart. You know what I'm talking about? Because when it first started, it was, oh, you shouldn't put all this on one man, and Drake ain't the savior, and this new Kendrick Lamar is something else. And I mean, he was kudos. He was a bandwagoner. You know what I'm talking about? The whole time he like, go Kendrick, go Kendrick, go. Cause I guess in some form or fashion, these motherfuckers wanted to be tired of the drister. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? They wanted to be tired. They wanted to be. I wanted to hear something different. Realize, not realizing that Kendrick Lamar is he's a country artist. He one of them artists that's going he black thought of the artistry. You feel me? He gonna tell you you gonna understand it, but it might be philosophical. It's got four meanings every time he speak a word. So you thought you was ready for it, but you probably ready now. It's been a couple years. And then most artists still ain't gonna be ready for it because they be, no matter how much they think, they still be wanting the bull crap. You know what I'm saying? The party music, should I say, and a little bit of drill and a little bit of house music. They want it all. You know what I'm talking about? So despite what they were saying, they gonna get over it and they gonna be back to the lecture that hangs. And that's Drizzy. You understand me? So low key, I don't fault Ebron, and I don't fault none of the people that jumped off the bandwagon and not want to be on the bandwagon. Kudos to you. You know what I'm talking about? You definitely wasn't with me shooting in the gym. So whenever if he go, because you know he ain't with press runs. If he go on the press run, best believe he don't forget shit. So he gonna have something to say. And don't be mad. That's my thing. Don't get upset. Don't want to pick and choose what music you like and all that. Just enjoy it. Just be thankful that somebody wanted to come back and give to the culture. Okay? That's all I need to say about that. What's up with Boss D-Lo in the down low? Nobody has to know. Keep it on the down low. Nobody has to know. That nigga Boss D-Lo said, I'm gonna keep it on the DL. I guess Boss D-Lo back in the music, back in the news biz. You know what I'm talking about? I guess one of the ladies of the night, you know what I'm talking about? A transgender woman decided to give out her text messages of her and Boss D-Lo going back and forth. Now, this is the second time. So the first time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you. Ain't no third time. You feel me? So it's shame on you, D-Lo. You knew the first time you shouldn't have been fucking around. Now you back fucking around. We know you fucking around. Come out and say you fucking around. Or you gonna do another Bobby Valentino and say it wasn't me again. I wasn't in the room with Benzino coming out half dressed. That wasn't me. You making stuff up. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't finna do that. You like what you like, sir. And the more you hide, the more motherfuckers gonna be nosy and try to find out what you do in your bedroom. I care less. And that's probably pretty much all I'm gonna say about that. Yeah, I think that might be it. I ain't write much and I don't, you know what I'm talking about? I just had to make it look good for 30 long minutes. I think I got one more situation and we gonna get on up out of here. For real. Shout out to Mrs. Nia Long. Yes, the 90s, it was definitely an era to be had. You feel me? I'm an 80s baby, so in the 90s, I was growing up You know what I'm saying? And my eyes was glued to the TV when you came on, ma'am. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to you. You feel me? And all your endeavors. You know what I'm talking about? Shit, I'm definitely here for the music, you know. Ever since you been Coretta Lynn Jackson, you been on a nice press run. I knew you was on a nice press run when you had Kiki Palmer interview. I said Kiki don't do interviews because she like to be real in situations. So she rather have a private conversation with you. And for y'all to do a conversation on the podcast, that's definitely it. You know what I'm talking about? And I hope it lasts for a minute. You know, they kind of, and that's what's disparaging about this situation. They kind of let the 90s go away and then have a resurgence 30 years later. I'm glad it ain't too late and a lot of people didn't age. You feel me? They even got some 60s and 70s, 70s and 80s babies doing their thing too. Shout out to Kim Fields. I heard you. I know I don't owe nobody nothing. I just like to say something when it need to be said because sometimes people don't say it right. That's the whole reason why I'm here. People don't know how to talk these days. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kim Fields though. Shout out to Nia Long. And let the 90s baby saga continue. You know what I'm talking about? And I think that might be it, y'all. I don't think. You know, it might be a few other things I'm leaving on the table, but guess what? We'll research back to that when we feel like getting to that. You know what I'm talking about? If you see the ceiling fan, you know it's real. And with all that being said, as the old saying goes, the smoke's gone, I'm gone.